Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for a character wish list for DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. So let's get into it. I'm going to go over all the series that's already inside the game, tell you what characters I would really like to see added on, and then I'll go over series that aren't even in the game, tell you what characters I would like to see. Now, we don't know if there's going to be DLC. There might be DLC, we don't know. In the Nickelodeon Kart Racers games, no DLC. The only DLC that was ever in any of the games was Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway, because if you get the deluxe edition, you get to get Zuko and that skin of Wrath. I guess you could say that's DLC. They're doing the exact same thing in this DreamWorks game. If you pre-order, well, not pre-order, if you get the deluxe edition, you get to get Death and Master Oogway. So let's get into it. Also, I'm gonna be looking down every now and then because I wrote down the characters I want to see. So you know, I'm looking down at the notebook I got. Anyway, first up we got the Shrek franchise. I think they're good on characters because we already got Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Puss in Boots, and Kitty Softpaws. That's 5 characters right there. A 20 character roster. That's a good chunk. One video I saw, this guy zoomed in on the little racetrack icons and he saw Burrito. A comment I got this morning, he said that he saw, he said he looked at all the screenshots and he couldn't see Burrito. Now, even if Burrito's not in the game, maybe not, that's still a good chunk of the roster. I'm looking at the comment to find out so I can give this guy credit because he said he could not find Burrito. Cool You. This is a guy named Cool You. Anyway, even if you don't add Burrito, that's still a good chunk of the roster, so I think they're good. If they do add any more as DLC, you could add the white cat from the Puss in Boots show on Netflix. Her name was Dul Lacinta or Senorita Zapita. I'm saying that name so wrong. The orphanage owner or the white cat that Puss in Boots kind of liked in the show. Other than that, I think Shrek is good for now. That's a big chunk of the roster. Next up, we got Kung Fu Panda. I would have been okay with just them having Po and Tigress, but in some screenshots, you do get to see Master Sifu. And if you get the deluxe edition, I almost said pre-order again, you get to get Master Oogway. Other characters they could add is Tai Lung, Monkey, Viper, Lord Sen, or Kai. They could also add the Wu sisters. I don't know a lot of people know about the Wu sisters, but they weren't in any of the official movies. If they were, maybe they were background characters, I don't know. But the Wu sisters were these 3 sisters that did like this big crime spree. You fought them in the Kung Fu Panda 1 game on the 360. They were also in that little animated short where you got to see how Master Rhino, Croc, and Ox got like their stardom and they beat the Wu sisters. And the main thing is like they're always together, so they should all be in one car. And the ultimate move with them connecting their tails and they spin around like this destructive circle. So if they are in the game in one car, it'd be really cool with one of the tricks where they do a trick and they do a little spin death wheel thing and then they jump back in the car. That'd be dope. That'd be really dope. I didn't put Mantis. Oh, almost forget. I put Lee San, Poe's dad. Almost forget to say him. I put Poe's dad. I didn't put Mantis because they could have had the trolls as regular racers, but they didn't. They kept them at the regular size. So I'm thinking maybe Game Man wants to keep the regular size of characters in the game. So maybe Mantis, maybe not. Plus, you're gonna have to really size them up. Same with the trolls. So I don't know about Mantis. Anyway, next up we get How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon. Right now they only have Hiccup and Astrid in the game, and it's kind of funny because in the DreamWorks kart racer they had on the 360 way back in the day, they had Toothless as an actual racer, which is kind of wild to me. I would think that he'll just be like an item or ultimate or something. I don't know if this game is going to do ultimates. They had like an all-star move in that one game back in the day on the 360. I don't know if they're going to have that in this game. But in the in the box art for this game, you can see Hiccup riding a Toothless type of car. So that's what they're going to do. Even Donkey, his like dragon wife is his car. So they're going to like keep the sizes regularly. That's what I was saying. So right now we only have Hiccup and Astrid. That's really good. If they add anybody else, Rough Nut and Tough Nut would be good in one car because that's the whole thing. They're twins. They're always together. They ride the same dragon, so they're in one car. They could add a Stoic. It'd be really cool to see. I also put Drago, the villain from the second movie. Valka, Hiccup's mom. It'd be really cool for one trick for her to put on her mask. That'd be really cool. Heather, she wasn't in the movies, but she was in the TV show Riders to the Edge, which is a really good show on Netflix. They could also add her brother, Drago. I think I'm saying his name wrong, but she also had a brother named Drago, and his main like little quirk was he was a little on eggs. He's a little crazy, and sometimes he'll be like, "I'm not crazy." So it's like there's one of his voice lines in the game. That'd be pretty funny. I'm not crazy. uh, but that's about it. I mean, Snot Loud and Fist Legs, I guess, but they're not like, I need them in the game. But, that'd be pretty cool to have too. Or Gobber. Next up, we got the Boss Baby. Right now, we only know of Boss Baby. That's it. If they add anybody else, obviously you're going to add his brother Tim. You're going to have to add Tim's daughter Tina. Tabitha, that is that's Tim's daughter. No, yeah, my bad. Tina is Tim's daughter, so is Tabitha. They're sisters. That went over my head. I don't know why I get them confused. They're both his daughters, Tim's daughters. Then you also got Stacy, which is that girl in the Boss Baby's little group from the first movie, and Kuro, Tim's wife. Now, I guess it'd be kind of funny because they have Boss Baby as his regular baby self, obviously. Tim, they'll probably do the kid version of Tim. We don't know what the kid version of Kuro looks like. There is a Boss Baby show on Netflix. I have now watched it, so if there is a kid version of Kuro, I guess they got the kid version of her. But I doubt they're going to add the adult version of Tim or Boss Baby. Other than that, I think that's good for Boss Baby. I got Madagascar because in an article, they were going over all the racetracks. They didn't name off every single racetrack, but they were like, you can race through the swamps of Shrek. You can little few examples. And one example they said was the streets of New York in Madagascar. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for them to add Madagascar. Besides from Shrek as the poster boy at DreamWorks, Madagascar is right next to it. They're like the two most popular things, so Shrek would make a lot of sense. So I got, Madagascar make a lot of sense. So for Madagascar, I got Alex, Marty, Gaia. She's in the thumbnail. That's the jaguar lion, or just jaguar from the third movie. The penguins, obviously all of them in one car. King Julian, the two monkeys, they can be in one car too. Melman, and Gloria. Most likely just gonna have Alex and Marty. Probably Gloria and Melman, all four of them. That's a lot of character slots. We get to 20 characters, so probably just Alex and Marty and maybe all the penguins in one car. So that would make the most sense. Then we get the bad guys. So, no, my bad. I skipped over Megamind. Now, if you zoom in, you do get to see Megamind in one screenshot. So obviously he's in the game. If they add anybody else, the most likely characters, the only characters you can add from that game is Minion, Metro Man, Roxanne, and Titan. All four of them aren't going to be in the game, so probably just Minion and Megamind. If they want to add one more, then Metro Man, Roxanne, and Titan could be saved off for DLC or maybe in the sequel. But just Minion and Megamind. But yeah, probably just Minion. Then we get the bad guys. So the bad guys, I got Diane, Tiffany Tuffet, Mr. Mr. Sark, Mrs. Spider, Mr. Snake, and Mr. Piranha. Most likely just Diane. I can see just Mr. Wolf and Diane. Then in DLC or in the sequel, they could add like Tiffany Tuffet or anybody else from the bad guys group. But for right now, just Mr. Wolf and Deanne. Deanne's not confirmed. I'm saying unless she's confirmed. But we only see Mr. Wolf. But Deanne would make the most sense. Just to have one more character for the bad guys. It'd be kind of cool if she puts on her I forgot what was it called? The Crimson Paw. That was her name. That's like a skin for her. Or if she can turn into the Crimson Paw really quickly. That'd be kind of funny. Next up I got ants. Now we're going on to series that aren't even in the game. I put ants here, but in my head, like I was saying, I think Game Mail is gonna keep the size of characters accurate. So I don't know about ants. So there'll probably be little pickups you can have. If they do add actual ant characters and size them up, they could have done that with the trolls, but hey, it's whatever. So with ants, I got Z, Princess Bala, Waver, or Cutter. That's about it. I was gonna add one to Wasp, but nah, I think that's like a good just for the ants. Then we get the Prince of Egypt. Probably just Moses and King Ramsey the second. I think that was him. King Ramsey the second. That'd be pretty good. Then we get my boys, The Road to El Dorado. One of my favorite movies in the world. I loved this movie as a kid. I used to rewatch this like crazy. The Road to El Dorado. Obviously, you're going to have to add Tulio and Miguel. Racing in El Dorado will be beautiful, man. I really hope they add them. I put them in the thumbnail. I really love this movie. But you're going to have Tulio and Miguel. And obviously, Chell. She's on the back. If you don't know, Chell. She's on the back. You're going to have those three. Those are the three main ones. And, yeah, that's about it. I guess who else they could add is maybe Cortez or the Chief. But nah, I think those main three should be good. Tulio, Miguel, and the Chill. Those would be good. Okay, on to the next page. Only 11 minutes. Not bad. So, Chicken Run. They're having that sequel movie on Netflix later this year, which is kind of cool. Chicken Run. All we really need is Ginger and Rocky. Those are two good ones. DLC or maybe the sequel, they could add Mrs. Tweety. Any of the other chickens, I don't really remember them like that, so I think they're good. But just Ginger and Rocky should be good. Anybody else, Mrs. Tweety, that's about it for Chicken Run. Then we got, I gotta pick up the thing again, Sinbad. This is also one of my other favorite movies from DreamWorks and in general. I didn't watch this a lot as a kid, because I watched this as like a kid. Sinbad, I got like around middle schoolish, but it's a really good movie too. I really like Sinbad. Anyway, they shall obviously add Sinbad, Megara. No, that's how you say it. Marina, Sinbad, Marina, and Ares, the god of destruction, or like the Greek god of destruction. Anybody else? Maybe Kale, that big buff black guy. Sinbad shit. Basically, Sinbad's like best friend. Other than that, I think it should just be Sinbad and Marina. And Ares and Kale could be DLC, or Ares could be like a stage hazard or something. But Sinbad and Marina, those are two good options for Sinbad. Then we got Shark Tale. Obviously, Oscar, Angie, Lenny. Why did I say it like Oscar, Angie, Lenny, and Sykes. I don't know about that. Oof, that was close. I tapped. This is like my third recording because my camera messed up. And the second time, I literally tapped the key, like the little touchpad, and to stop my recording, my mouser was on the stop button. I'm glad I moved my mouser up. Oscar and Angie, those are good. Lenny, maybe DLC, Sykes DLC. The Shark Dad, anybody else? I don't know. But Oscar and Angie should be good for Shark Tale's rep. Wallace and Gromit. Just Wallace and Gromit. They could be in the same car or in two separate cars. That doesn't really matter. Probably two separate. Nah, they could be in the same car, actually. Wallace and Gromit. The only other person from Wallace and Gromit I could see them adding is maybe Wallace's girlfriend. What was her name? I put it down. Mrs. Cam Pula. Maybe. Or maybe the bad guy that wanted, he had fake hair. I forgot his name, but probably just Wallace and Gromit. That should be good. Next up, we got Over the Hedge, RJ and Fern, the turtle and the raccoon. That should be good. They could add the squirrel or the bear or the lady that wanted to kill everybody or the what was it? Not the health inspector, the rodent kill guy. The exterminator. That's what I was trying to think of. The exterminator. They could add him. But maybe not, I don't know. But RJ and Fern, that should just be good. They can be in two separate cars. They don't gotta be in the same car. Flushed Away, Roddy and Rita. That's really all you need. That's all you need from Flushed Away. You don't need to add the frog. I guess they could, but they don't really need the frog. Roddy and Rita should be fine. Two separate cars. Obviously, Rita's car gotta be like named and like based off of the shoot, what was her boat name? Not Roddy St. James. That was Roddy's full name. I forgot her boat's name, but you know her boat. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's about it for Flushed Away. The Bee Movie. Vanessa and Barry. That's all you really need. Barry, like I said, I don't know if they're gonna have the same. Oh, you could have that for Roddy and Rita too. Same sizes. I don't know. They're gonna keep the size of regular things, so maybe B, maybe Roddy, maybe Rita. I mean, maybe Barry. But the only other character you could add is Vanessa. I don't know. They're gonna add the B movie. The B movie was like really. Maybe we add the B movie, but if you're gonna have the B movie, Vanessa and Barry, that should be good. Next up, one of my other favorite movies, Monsters vs. Aliens. I had the game on the 360 too, which is kind of funny. I had the game and I beat it. It was kind of hard though. They also had Monsters vs. Aliens in the first Nickelodeon, DreamWorks kart racer game. They only had Bob though. If they do add Monsters vs. Aliens, obviously you gotta have Susan. And Susan sees gigantic, but in the TV show, you didn't watch the TV show from MVA. And the TV show, she was able to regulate her size. So she could be normal size for like however long she wants. And then when she has to fight, then she goes back into Normica. So, yeah. Her outfit did change too, because in the show, it was like a bluish suit that could regulate with the size. And then in the movie, it's like the black suit. But they have Monsters vs. Aliens, Susan, Bob, Link, and Dr. Cockroach. I doubt they're going to add everybody. They're probably going to add Bob, because in the DS version and on the 360, they had Bob only. So probably Bob and Susan. Then they could add Dr. Cockroach and Link as DLC, or maybe in the sequel. But for right now, just Susan and Bob. Those are two good characters. I don't really want the alien guy, the villain. I don't really want him. Let's see. Rise of the Guardians. That's next. Really good movie. Right now, all I have for Rise of the Guardians is Jack, Santa, Tooth. Oh, you can't really see it, the glare. Rise of the Guardians. Now, for right now, it should be just Jack and Santa. Maybe they can add the Tooth Fairy too. I'll put the Easter Bunny. Sandman would be good. The Boogeyman. I guess you could add the Boogeyman. But that's a lot of characters. But for right now, if they just end this game, just Jack and Santa. Those would just be the two main ones. That should be good. Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Sandman, Boogeyman. They could be DLC or in the sequel. But Jack and Santa, they should be good. The Croods. I don't have the Croods. I don't know why I look down. I don't have the Croods. The Croods. Eep, Guy, Dawn, and Lark. Lark is from the TV show, Eep's best friend. Dawn is from the second movie. I still have to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I was going to watch it on Thanksgiving 2 years ago. We literally started the movie at my sister's house. But then they were like, yo, let's go see Grandma. And I was like, oh, my sister stayed. I should have stayed at the house. But it doesn't matter. But Dawn, Eep and Guy, probably the best bets for the Croods. They can add like Grug, Ugga, Sandy, Gran in the DLC or in the other ones. But for just base roster scenarios, Eep and Guy, two main ones right there. It'd be kind of funny if Grug, one of his voice lines is him just yelling, I have an idea. That'd be pretty funny. And then the cars could be based off the animals, the pets. Because Grug, you know, his sort of pet was that saber-toothed cat lion thing. Eep, unless he got one in the sequel that I don't know of. So he didn't really have like a specific animal. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what the car could be based off of besides like random animals from the games. But it'd be kind of cool to have a track based off that. That'd be dope. That'd be dope like the Croods. After that, I got Turbo. There was a lot of comics in my reveal, like, talk of this game where people, a lot of people were saying they wanted Turbo characters. Besides from the human characters, obviously the main characters are the snails. I don't know, because I keep saying this over and over. I think Game Mail want to keep the regular size of characters, so having Turbo in them might be iffy. Plus, they don't have hands or feet. I don't know how they're gonna have to size them up. Turbo, they might just be an item. I don't know if they're gonna have Turbo. Yeah, because they don't have hands or feet, and they're gonna have to really size them up to be characters. I don't know. Some people are saying in my comment section that, hey, they can just size them up and they can actually just race themselves on the track instead of being in a car. I don't know. They might just have that Mexican guy from Turbo be a racer, because Turbo is very iffy. I don't know about Turbo. Oh, I got low storage. I gotta hurry up. Well, I only got one more page left, so let's get this. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Obviously, just Mr. Peabody and Sherman. If they add anybody else, they could add Penny, that girl that Sherman started to like near the end of the movie. it's kind of funny when I was looking up images for Mr. Peabody and Sherman, I saw one of just Mr. Peabody and Sherman. So I'm like, okay, main 2 characters. Then I saw one of Penny, Mr. Peabody, and Sherman, the 3 characters I only want in the game. So I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Let me crap them in there real quick. I'm like, that's perfect. So Mr. Peabody, Sherman, and Penny. Then I got Home, just O and Tip. Only 2 characters you really need. There is a show on Netflix. I don't know any of the characters from the show because I haven't watched the show. If there's any characters from the show you want, I guess put them down in the comics. But I haven't watched the show, so I don't know. I guess they could have the mom. It kind of, because the mom looked... I gotta continue. It's really funny with the mom though. In the show, I mean the movie, she looked, she's black. She looked just like Tip. She had like curly hair, I think. But in the show, she has like pink hair. She's like really wild and crazy. Like, they really changed her in the show. I'm not mad about it. It was just like really funny. I'm like, oh, that's her mom. She looked like that in the movie. Like, that really surprised me. Actually, I was gonna say a funny little note with. If I have enough time, I'll say that at the end with Home. Next up, I got Captain Underpants. Just Captain Underpants, Harold, and George. I did read some of the characters from the article. It said you can race as like Shrek, different characters, yada yada, and Harold, Puss in Boots. Now, I don't know if they were saying Harold and Puss in Boots, or like the Harold Puss in Boots, because Harold like the hero. When I looked up Harold DreamWorks, it showed Harold from Captain Underpants, so maybe he's in the game? Or maybe they were just saying the Harold Puss in Boots. I don't know. So maybe they two. Harold and George can be in one card and Captain Underpants his own character, but that should be it for Captain Underpants. Abominable. That was a pretty good movie. I liked it. A lot of people didn't talk about it like that. Just Y and Jen. Those 2 kids. Y, the main girl that played the violin. Jen, that guy that went along with her to help bring Abominable back to his homeland. I guess they could have Abominable as a racer, but I don't know. Other than that, that's about it for Abominable. Ruby Gilman. Ruby Gilman could be in this game because they were doing a lot of Shrek characters and Puss in Boots and Kitty Soft Paws. I'm like, okay, maybe DreamWorks wants some more recent DreamWorks properties in this game. Ruby Gilman, the most recent you got. That's the most recent movie in the theater. So Ruby Gilman and Chelsea, the mermaid girl. I haven't watched the movie, so I don't know a lot of other characters in the game. I mean, in the movie, besides from Ruby's family or her friends from school. Other than that, I don't know any other characters from the movie because I haven't watched it yet. But just Ruby Gilman and Chelsea. That should be good. Now we're on to TV shows because DreamWorks has made some TV shows. Now, She-Ra. They raised She-Ra. I got She-Ra in the thumbnail. They should add Glimmer, Adore, Entraptor, Bo, and Frosta. If they are in their base roster, which I really doubt, I think they're going to stick with movies for right now. But if they do TV shows, She-Ra should be good. Glimmer and Adore, that should be good. DLC should be Bo, Frosta, Entraptor, Mamista, any other characters. But for base rosters, just Glimmer and Adore. VeggieTales, Bob and Larry. They did make a DreamWorks show. I did not know that. It's kind of funny. Harvey Girls. I did not know they made that show, DreamWorks. My nephew used to love watching this show like crazy on Netflix. They used to add Lotta, Dot, and Audrey. They should all be on one card. Kipo. I did not watch that show. It's the pink girl on Netflix. But they should just add Kipo. Waldo and Wendy. They actually made a Where Waldo show. And Waldo and Wendy are the 2 main characters. So I guess Waldo and Wendy. And that's about it for all the characters I would like to see in this game. Sorry I started speeding it up. It said low storage, so that means it cut me off at any second. But what was I gonna say? The funny character. No, I had like a little story I wanted to say. Oh, with Home. I watched the first half of Home. I was on this trip with my grandma on my dad's side. And went to like this really big fancy hotel. And they had this huge pool. And they were showing Home. So I'm like in the pool on a floaty watching Home on like a projection. We watched like the first half. My grandma got tired, so we had to go home. Then I watched the second half of the movie on a trip at it was a summer camp. We went on a trip. You know those buses, those huge buses with the TVs. They played Home, so I finally got to watch the last half of Home. That's a little funny note there. Yeah, that's everything. It said low storage, and I get all this time now. But yeah, if you have any of your own characters you want to see in this game, put them down in the comments, and I'll read them and like it and whatever. Other than that, that's all the characters I would like to see in this game. I guess the next time I make a video on this game is when they do like an actual trailer. We can see gameplay. Or I could do a video with what kind of skins I want to see in this game. Or what kind of tricks and animations I want to see. I don't know. Or tracks. And yeah. Other than that, until some more information comes out, that's about it for this game. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for being wonderful human beings. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. All right.